I'm going to say something out loud that most people wouldn't, and that is hiring the wrong coach won't just waste your money. It'll quietly derail your entire business. Something happened very recently and I thought it was intriguing, and I wanted to make this short episode to talk about it. There's plenty of coaches out there helping people, and they're not all bad people. I mean, there are some that are bad and not very good, but often they can get a result in a particular area. So it's not because they can't get results. It might be more to do with the fact that their business model or their values or their assumptions are just not aligned to yours, and that's something to be very careful about. It would be like putting diesel in a petrol engine. You're going to be calling a tow truck, right? There's no benefit. It's a waste of resource. So I'm going to share a story, something that just happened, because I think it's so pertinent. I've got a very clever client. I'm just going to call him G for anonymity. But what he did was pretty cool. He's super analytical, and he hired two coaches at once. And he gave them both a brief, and he then made a comparison, and he shared that comparison with me. And it's one of the clearest comparisons I've ever seen. I took that comparison and I asked my GPT to check it against what we do and how we operate. And it was a direct match for what we do here. And I asked why what we're doing here is so special. And it turns out that the coaching style that I have is not just hype, and it does help you recognize the right path for your business. The reason why is I've got my own framework. I've never revealed my framework before. This episode might be the first time you hear about it, but I have my own framework that I've helped over 3,500 founders with, and it's customizable. Each step customizes, and that's a really big, important differentiation. So if you've ever been burned by coaching before, or if you're choosing between a couple of mentors right now, this episode is for you. You'll want to hear this because it's got a valuable lesson. Some coaches will give you short-term dopamine hits or an instant result. Others will help you build something that lasts. So I would say, whilst I build things that last, I'm always looking for quick wins. It's the first part of my framework, actually. And the problem is they both sound pretty convincing, and you want both outcomes. So let's just unpack how G evaluated both and why I think it matters so much. He's sharp. He's got a tech background. He's a good operator, and he's had success before. This is not his first rodeo. So he's looking for someone to really make a difference, not starting from zero. He came to me with an outline of what he has done, what he likes, what he's trying to do, and asked for help. And I said, well, great, let's build a system that takes advantage of all of your skills. We'll simplify everything for you. We'll show you how to do something long-term, and I'll do it with you. At the same time, he had another coach on board. I'll just call him Coach K. That's a completely randomized name, who had a pretty strong offer. I had a look at the offer as well. In fact, when my client G was asking me if he should come on board, he said, I'm also looking at such and such. I went and had a look at it. It's not terrible. I'm not one to put others down. That guy's clearly got a thing. He does it okay for what he's doing. And I'm okay with plenty of people out there doing their thing. No one does my thing, and they do their thing. So this is where it's really important. It's a lot more to do with fit. This guy is pretty visible online. There's some velocity, some good numbers, high energy. Nothing wrong with that. And I want to be stressed here. I'm not taking anyone out here. But G did something very smart. He compared the outputs side by side. He got GPT to actually analyze it. Philosophy versus philosophy, framework versus framework. And what he uncovered is what I really wanted to share today. And I said to him that, gosh, this would make such a good podcast. I instantly recognized this could be super valuable for others. So let's just walk through how the styles differed, and more importantly, why those differences matter. The end goal, Coach K promised outcomes like 20K in 13 weeks, $1 million a year, 95% profit. The KPI was cash. And that works if your only problem is money. And look, a lot of people, they think their problem is money. That's fine. But G's challenge wasn't money. It was more capacity, stress, delivery, team leverage, doing something he actually enjoys and doesn't burn on. And so sometimes the money outcome is not as good as something like mastery or fit. So my goal wasn't revenue as a single point. It's more about Let's get an engaged team. Let's have wins. Let's have a shift in the vibe that you have for the way you do business. Let's have operational freedom and let's build something that lasts. And I think that's what real leverage is. Coach K was basically selling a sprint, and I was talking about a system which is more of a marathon. And, even if you speak to founders who build big companies, they are never looking at less than a 10-year period. They always look long-term. Reid Hoffman, for example, is one interview I saw today, as it turns out. So I checked, how did my advice map to my offer, and it was perfect. My offer is this. This is my framework. I'm going to share with you my special Schramko framework. The first tip is I want to simplify the offer. I just cut all fluff. Look for that 64-4. I want to build one clear mission, and I don't want to do anything other than that. I also checked the advice that I gave G, and that was I want you to own the outcome. We're going to create this result together for you, not just an idea or a dream. We will create this with confidence. When it came to audience fit, there was a difference between like solo hustler model versus team leader. Coach K serves solo operators. I've often said this, solopreneur is like a hard job. No team, just the offer. You don't need staff, sell one doc. It all sounds super simple, but G already has a team and infrastructure and the capacity to build a team, and he wants to make them better, not replace them with hustle. And that's where I coach differently. I work with team leaders. I've worked in mid-sized firms. I've run teams of 76 people. People who care about building cultures and not just offers can get so much leverage. And I could not do what I do now without my little team of 5 in the Philippines. Other things that mapped to my framework were convert hidden assets. We didn't ignore this. My client G is sitting on a bunch of assets, really valuable assets in this current market, and we want to unlock them. So what would be the point of starting a brand new method and just wiping the slate clean of all the assets you bring to the table? It just makes no sense. And then the other thing is align the founder's role. Like G shifts from operator to enabler. You don't want to be that guy, that one, or the girl, that one person. I mean, sure, AI and everything else, but we're still a year or two from that single person businesses where you're not really just working your ass off, right? The other thing that mapped well was mechanism. Templates versus team stack. Like Coach K is like dumping with templates, script, funnel. Awesome if you don't have any of that. And G could have made sales, but then what? It wouldn't stick because it wasn't integrated. It's just like, here's your tactic, go and do it. It's all on G. But I helped G build an internal community, create some cadence, engagement, reporting, like scale to get out there and make some real difference and something you could sell. So one path was extractive, the other was compoundable, and that's important. The other thing was refine the systems. So we've upgraded the systems, in terms of ideas, not just hacks, like actual components. So you can build momentum. You get the win, but then it stacks on top of it. And you can go add layers of products, add different client types. So we're talking about a difference in energy, hype versus precision. Coach K is pure sales energy, scarcity, deadlines, social proof. I'm exhausted just saying those words. G felt like it was a bit of a rush, adrenaline, but short-lived. What I build is calm, clean, crafted, certain, confident. It's a lot of C's. That wasn't intentional, but coaching isn't just about performance. It's a lot to do with alignment. I've been doing things for a long time, like memberships for 16 years, podcasts, 16 years, running a team, like decades. Like if you can get alignment, you can do things for a long time. Even my royalty deals, 10 years. The other thing is measure what matters. So we will track the few important things like engagement, payments, not just Stripe payments, but we'll be looking at lead and lag metrics, just the few that matter that show that things are on the up, and then we'll compare them to historical periods. And the other thing was the difference between independence and infrastructure. Coach K's value proposition, freedom through cash. Well, not really if you're on the rat wheel the whole time, right? Mine, freedom through infrastructure. Build something that you can actually have working for you, not that you're doing all the work. because one leads to burnout, the other leads to peace. And I'm on the side of peace. I just want to surf. I want to take my daughter to school. Like, I'm living. G doesn't really need more fire. He just wanted a fireproof plan. So the other thing is handing off the work. This is where G would definitely become the bottleneck in the first model. But if you have a team, you're not. Template versus tailored. And this is probably the most critical point. Coach K says, follow this, sell this, post that, right? Great. It works until it doesn't work. I say, let's look at your tools, your people, your rhythm, your desires. What are you bringing to the table? Where do you want it to go? And then let's build that. And with my framework, we can. And this is the thing. No two founders need the same thing. So cookie cutter template type coaching programs may not get you the result you are hoping for. What they will generally get you, and this is important, is they will get you a version of the person you're buying it from, especially if it's super cyclic. Like if they're teaching you exactly what they just did to you, then you're going to get what they've got. So make sure you look at what they've got and be happy with that. A lot of people hire me because they want what I have, and that's totally understandable. I like what I've got, and I know how to get it for others. That's why I generally don't sell courses or templates. I'm building capabilities. I like to teach people how to fish. And sometimes I even, partner with them in their farm and their business. So the last thing is like own the outcomes. With G, he needs to be really invested in this. He's putting a lot of time and energy and resource into it. So you've got to give it the due respect that it deserves. So I just want to pause here and explain something, because this story isn't just about me versus another coach. I know that's a simplified version of it, but what really hit home to me and why I wanted to share this is it's got more to do with frameworks and how you scale with context. If you're hiring someone and they have a template cookie cutter, they probably don't give a shit about what you bring to the table or your needs or your background or anything. They just like, buy this stuff, do this thing. And that is a valid model. But why I built my framework is it works no matter what you bring to the table. I'm going to walk you through it now, first time ever that I've shared this, and just show you how it deals with you and your team and your revenue. So the first part is simplify your offer. Strip out the clutter. No product stacking at the beginning. No crazy stuff. Just one clean offer that runs clean, not a Frankenstein business, right? Next step is convert hidden assets. Most founders are sitting on gold, team skills, unused IP, automation potential. Like we dig it up and activate it. Whereas if you're just getting a template, it ignores that framework. The next step is hand off the work. You shouldn't be in every task. I'm big on delegation. That's why I wrote Work Less, Make More. We create systems that hand work to others to free your time or that eliminate the need for things to be done. The next step is refine the systems, like build, test, improve, keep it simple, reliable, and clear, like Sputnik simple, just basic, it works, don't get fancy. Next is align the founder's role. You're not the ops manager, you're not the navigator, you generally shouldn't be the salesperson. We help you own the seat that you should be, and that is ideally you get to investor stage at some point. Next step is measure what matters. We track the right things like profit per hour, effective hourly rate, team output, retention, not just vanity stats. God, how many Instagram followers have you got? The next step is keep the momentum, like weekly rhythm, accountability, visible progress. Momentum isn't an accident. We design for it. That's how I've been able to do things for so long. And the last step is own the outcome. Like, this is a partnership. When I'm working with people, I want the outcome for them. We win together. We adjust as needed, and we don't stop until it works. And that's important. I want people to succeed. That's part of the deal. And here's the thing, like G hasn't finished the programs yet. He's only just started, but he's already chosen my path because it matched what he wanted. It matched his reality, and it'll be more work for me and possibly for him than the first path, but it will have such deeper results. He chose depth, he chose systems, he chose leverage. And while I don't know what would have happened if he went down the path with Coach K, and maybe he'll try it on the side anyway, He did know the moment that the comparison was done. GPT said that Schramko's framework is the one for you. Our path was the right one. And the chances are, unless someone is a direct hit for a template and needs like that quick fix, almost everyone's going to get a better outcome with a flexible framework like my Schramko framework. And the reason why is the coaching is based on him, not a cookie cut hype formula. That's where my framework is built to do. It adapts to context. It multiplies what's already working. It removes pressure and it gives you back control. And that's what I'm doing in Connect. I do it with the progress journal. In Mentor, I do it with the sounding board and the weekly group calls. So the big takeaway is this. The wrong advice at the wrong time delivered with confidence could feel right, but destroy momentum and confuse you, your team, and take you further from where you're trying to get to. And that's why match matters more than pitch. If people are promising, like they're telling you exactly what you want to hear, the fast cash, the bling, that I promise fewer, I promise breakdowns. There will be work, but you'll get more control. You'll grow more calmly. Your business won't punish you for succeeding. You'll actually enjoy it. If it's resonated with you, let me know. This is just like a off-the-cuff episode based on something that happened today. And if you've outgrown the guru models and you're sick of the biz bros and you're actually looking for a proper business and someone to help you, yeah, I'm not the most famous A-lister guy or whatever, but I don't try to be. My Schramko framework isn't theory. This is how I've been building businesses, my own businesses, other people's businesses, and it works without adding any stress. So you'll find it at jamesschramko.com. And if it feels right, let's chat.
This is James Schramko.